secrets buried in the past, dark deeds hidden in the shadows, and a justice that never fails. History is filled with scandals, betrayals, conspiracies, and crimes that shook entire nations. But these aren't just any stories. They're the ones written in ancient texts, whispered through time, and carrying consequences that still echo today. You think you know these tales. Think again, because in the end, truth is stranger than fiction. This is the sacred scandal, where ancient transgressions meet divine justice, and nothing stays hidden forever. You're walking down a dirt road just after dusk. The sky is a heavy purple, the kind that feels like it's hiding something. There's a faint breeze, the kind that whispers, not speaks. Up ahead, two brothers, kneeling side by side, but something's not right. One of them has a rock. The other, he's praying or begging. What started as a sacrifice is about to become a scandal. The first one. The first murder in human history. This is the sacred scandal, where dark deeds meet divine justice. I'm James, and today we're going all the way back to the beginning, to a moment so raw, so violent that it shook the ground humanity walked on. Literally. Today's episode is the first murder. You probably already know their names. Cain, Abel, two brothers born to the first humans, Adam and Eve, raised outside the gates of Eden. But what you might not know is how fast things unraveled, how a subtle crack in the soul widened into a chasm, and how one man's hidden jealousy ignited a rage so deep, so cold, that he spilled the blood of his own flesh and blood. But before the murder, there was the altar. Cain was a farmer, grounded, dirty hands, sunburnt skin, a man who understood the rhythm of planting and harvesting. Abel, a shepherd, lighter on his feet, always scanning the horizon. Two brothers, two different vocations, both brought offerings to God. Cain bought crops, fruit of the ground, probably baskets filled with color and effort. Abel brought lambs, fat portions, the firstborn of his flock. But only one offering was accepted. God looked with favor on Abel's gift, but Cain's, he had no regard for it. Why? Why reject one and accept the other? Was God playing favorites? Or did Cain know, deep down, that his offering wasn't really from the heart? That maybe he brought the leftovers? That he was just going through the motions? And when God called him out, not with condemnation, but a warning, Cain had a choice. If you do well, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do well, sin is crouching at the door. Cain didn't slam the door. He opened it. They went out into the field, just the two of them. No witnesses, no cameras, no alibis. And Cain rose up, and he killed his brother. We know it was deliberate, intentional. It wasn't a scuffle gone wrong. This was premeditated. The first human death was a murder. And just like any true crime case, the moment after the act is almost worse than the act itself. God comes looking. Cain, where is your brother? Cain plays dumb. Am I my brother's keeper? Cain could play dumb all he wanted, but the ground knew. The blood had a voice. God says, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Imagine that. Blood screaming from the dirt. But God doesn't execute Cain. He exiles him, a wanderer, marked, banished. But even in judgment, God shows mercy. He puts a mark on Cain, not as a curse, but as a protection, a warning to anyone who might try to take vengeance. Even after the murder, God shows restraint. He keeps Cain alive, but the damage is done. The first family, shattered. The first death, unnatural. But what was the motive? Jealousy? Pride? Shame? Cain's motive wasn't complex. It was human. We think sin starts big, but this story tells us it starts small, in the quiet corners of comparison, the silent looks, the subtle bitterness. Sin crouches. That's what God said, like an animal ready to pounce. And Cain didn't tame it. He fed it. And history has never been the same. This isn't just a story of the first murder. It's a mirror. How many families have been torn apart by jealousy? How many relationships destroyed by unchecked anger? Cain killed his brother in a field, but every day we see the echoes in hate, in revenge, in cold, calculated cruelty. But we also see the mercy that even when we are at our worst, God still reaches out. He still marks us with grace. That was the story of Cain and Abel, the first murder, but it won't be the last. Every week here on The Sacred Scandal, we peel back the pages of Scripture to reveal the darkness that hides in plain sight. Because these aren't just stories from ancient times. They're stories that speak to the heart of humanity today. If this episode spoke to you, share it, subscribe, and join me next time as we uncover another tale of betrayal, violence, and divine justice. Until then, keep your heart soft, your motives pure, and remember, dark deeds never escape divine justice.